Today's show is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, Papa John's, and the Baltimore area Toyota dealers.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Baltimore Sun. Our big game this week features the defending A and B conference football champions of the MIAA. Poly's football team looks to recover from a tough shutout loss. We'll see how they bounce back against undefeated Patterson. And we have highlights from last week's girls soccer game matching 9th-ranked Notre Dame Prep and top-ranked John Carroll. Today, we'll start with volleyball. In past years, the Anne Arundel County title often came down to Severna Park and Glen Burnie. Who got the best of the rivalry when the top 10 teams met on Friday? Let's take a look.
Whenever these powerhouse teams go head-to-head, the stage is usually set for a duel to the end. Not this week, however. Number 2 Severna Park in control the entire way. Senior outside hitter Missy Collison finds an open area as the Falcons would head out in front in a hurry and never look back. Strong serves here by setters like Lauren Boyd kept 6th-ranked Glen Burnie forever looking over their shoulders, and the pressure to keep the ball on the other side of the court and inbounds for that matter became too much as Severna Park's lead began to widen. Glen Burnie did manage to muster 4 total points in the first game, but the Falcons' quick start was too much to overcome, and the first match went to Severna Park 15-4. In the second and third games, Glen Burnie kept pace a little better, and signs of rekindling that fire between these two teams was evident. The sparks were quickly doused, however, as Severna Park regained their momentum and finished the match with 3 surprisingly lopsided victories. High-scoring Patterson arrived at Poly full of confidence for the East Division League opener against the 7th-ranked Engineers, and they got right down to business. Fullback Brendan Williams takes it at 7-0. Then a little bit later, Eric Myers blocks the punt, falls on the end zone. It's 14-0. Patterson, which has 9 returning starters this year, including 3 outstanding linebackers, was like a brick wall on D and like a freight train on offense, scoring almost at will. Poly quarterback Tim Frazier tried to light a spark under Coach John Hammond's offense, but progress was simply hard to come by. Not so here for Patterson's Michael Pearsall, who smashes through the line for a 3-yard score. This is a great interception. Olin Oliver comes up with it. It's a tip pass, and Oliver right there. As the Engineers would gain a small sense of balance along with a strong scoring drive near the end of the game. But in the end, Roger Wren's Clippers were just too strong.
When number 1 John Carroll hosted number 9 Notre Dame Prep on Tuesday, they had no idea what a run they would be in for. All-out hustle and defense was the name of this game. Notre Dame halfback Lindy Zyko took some pressure off freshman goalkeeper Lauren Stone with some heads-up play around the net, and it seemed the 6-0 Pirates could move out in front. Even first-year NDP coach Mark Deaton thought an upset could be brewing. Stone was continuing to smother shots, and Maggie Pyzik said, "I'm in this game too. Oh, and nice to meet you." With a minute remaining in the scoreless first half, the Patriots' Kate Wheelahan takes a header from Jenny Bisco and lost the shot on goal off a Pirate defender for Bisco to follow up and sneak past Stone for a 1-0 lead. Teammate Nicole Lewis says, "Great shot. I think things are starting to fall in place," which they were for John Carroll, who took the lead into halftime. When play resumed, Notre Dame Prep again put the heat on the Patriots, but Lindsay Seifert was able to get ahead of her defender, stop on a dime, and put one just over the reach of Lauren Stone for the insurance goal, which would keep the Patriots unbeaten in the Catholic League with a 2-0 victory over a vastly improved Pirate team.
Now let's look at how the top 15 football teams fared, as well as some of the soccer and volleyball results from around the region. When we come back, the defending MIAA A and B conference champions meet. It's 13th-ranked Loyola against 14th-ranked McDonough and Dick's Sporting Goods' big game of the week. Next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. When the Maryland Independent Athletic Association formed a few years back, it broke into two conferences. The bigger schools in the A Conference and the schools against defending A Conference. Quick game, let's take a look at some of the classroom stars.
Well, Jerry, from McDonough, senior captain Anthony Esposito carries a 3.0 grade point average, and Tom Melanson, senior fullback, sports a 3.75 GPA.
Now let's go to the battle of the defending champions, Loyola at McDonough. Dick's Sporting Goods, big game of the week. It was obvious Loyola had a size advantage against the smaller Eagles, but it was none of that struck early. First, senior quarterback Matt Prim fools everyone, taking this keeper around right in, good for 13 yards. Then from the shotgun, it's Prim to Brian Leone on this 18-yard scoring connection. The extra point gave McDonough a 7-0 lead. The problem, says Loyola receiver Daly, he grabs the ensuing kickoff at the 5-yard line, gets a few blocks, and says, see ya. With just a kicker to beat, Daly says, are you kidding me? It's a track meet as the senior running back tears down the left sideline, finally getting up inside the 5. But Daly falls into the end zone, pulling the down to within 7-6, and Loyola fans say, hey, we kind of like that. They sure didn't like this. Prim first pump faking and then finding wideout Owen Daly on this 40-yard play. Then Prim lets the runners get involved, pitching to fullback Anthony Esposito on this nice gain down the left side. That set up another McDonough score. Prim fakes a handoff, rolls right, and again finds Leone, this time from 5 yards out. With a 2-point conversion, McDonough led 15-6. Prim in the first half hits 8 of 10 passes for 155 yards. Here he finds a wide-open Brad Dumont for a 44-yard score. McDonough is 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and a 21-6 lead. Loyola responded with less than a minute left. Dan Fink scores from 2 yards out, pulling the Dons to win 21-12 at half. Even though Loyola represents the bigger A-Comps, Coach DeBrun going in, the team faced a difficult task. The Dons lost 4 All-Metro players from a year ago, including Baltimore Sun Player of the Year, Grant Hall. Loyola would make it close in the second half. Tom Melanson's 2-yard touchdown run and the 2-point conversion had Loyola in 21-19. But McDonough chewed up nearly 7 minutes in its next drive. The big play, 4th and 11. Prim found Leone on this big first down play. That set Esposito's 3-yard touchdown run, giving McDonough a 28-19 win. Prim's numbers for the day, 106 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
Just a great quarterback. Freshman year undefeated, 8-0, and he'll probably win 32 games before he leaves here. He's a great leader in the classroom, everywhere in this whole campus, and we're proud of him.
Big team. The conference is supposed to be better than us. I mean, they were bigger than us, and they just hustled so much, and we just came back and hit them every time we could. And just for us, that just makes us feel so much for being able to play with such a good conference team.
For Westminster's Scott Tobias, his first year as head coach of the football team didn't be easy. The Owls hadn't posted a winning season in nearly a decade. So it was a major surprise that Westminster started the season with 3 straight wins. For his early success, Tobias is the Toyota Coach of the Week.
High school athletics is emotion, enthusiasm. We can get as technical as we want. Kids sometimes take that technical information and are able to act up playing with emotion, enthusiasm. Give them the skill, give them the technical stuff that they need to have fun.
First-year coach Scott Tobias has certainly stirred up a lot of fun and the best start in 9 years for Westminster High School.
In my 6 or 7 years there, we have not had a 3-0 start, so it's a good start for the team, program, and it's exciting for the fans.
And Scott is excited and well on his way to achieving the goals he set this year.
3 of my goals for this season were to increase participation, involve the community and the school, and build pride and spirit in the program. And I think that's very important, because when you start having the successes, kids start believing and playing to their potential.
Congratulations, Scott Tobias. Now here's a look at some of the area's best student athletes. When we return, we'll showcase this week's Toyota Athletes of the Week. Each week, Toyota and the Baltimore Sun will recognize outstanding male and female athletes of the week. This week's winners are Gretchen Crook, a senior goalie at Roland Park. Crook held Severna Park to just 1 goal in a Roland Park win just over a week ago. And Felix Isuk, a senior linebacker at Gilman. Isuk had 4 sacks and a forced fumble in last week's rout over Poly. We congratulate Gretchen and Felix, the Toyota Athletes of the Week.
Being a goalie, a lot of times you don't get much recognition other than by your teammates, and at times it can be a very lonely job. I do different things like counting backwards by 3, or, I'll start looking around, and other times I'll get distracted, so it's hard sometimes to keep focused if there's not much action on defense.
But senior goalie Gretchen Crook has been seeing a lot of action the past few weeks. She's made 20 saves in 4 games, helping the Reds stay undefeated and rise to the area's #1 position. Gretchen's leadership qualities have certainly made an impact on this team.
She doesn't get down on herself. She just gets back up and she's fiery. She doesn't have red hair for nothing. She is a fiery little spark plug back there in the goal. And she gets the team up as much as anybody.
And Gretchen got the team fired up with her 10 saves against former #1 Severna Park last Saturday, including this penalty shot in the Sally Nyborg tournament. But it's all just part of the challenge for this SGA president.
I like to challenge myself a lot. I like to be involved in a lot of different things at once. A lot of times my mom will get upset with me because I'll be too busy to, help around the house or eat dinner with her at night. But that's the way I like to do things. I like to keep myself busy and challenge myself.
And Gretchen, we're certainly proud to honor you as our Toyota Female Prep Athlete of the Week.
Some stuff you learn on the football field you can translate later towards your schoolwork, like hard work. And on the football field, I just try to play hard every play, not take any plays off. Try to do my best all the time.
And Felix Isuk is leading a standout Gilman defense, which has kept opponents scoreless the past 3 games. His quiet leadership role has helped propel this #1 team.
He's a quiet leader. He's not a rah-rah guy. I think he is a guy who can be inspirational quietly behind the scenes. I mean, he says things to kids, but he's not the guy out front going, let's go, let's go. He leads by example, plays very hard, but also is a person of character, and I think inspires his teammates to not only play well, but do the correct thing, to discipline themselves, to make sacrifices. He's a quiet man of character.
And this quiet man has spoken volumes in the classroom. His accomplishments have earned him 4 Division I scholarship offers from solid football and academic institutions.
I'm thinking about Stanford, Duke, UVA, the Ivy Leagues, Northwestern, and just places like that are good at academics as well as football.
And we wish Felix the best of luck, whatever he decides, and congratulate him as our Male Prep Athlete of the Week.
Now here's the week's best local high school highlights, including the outstanding play of the week.
This week's highlight reel begins in Frederick County as Thomas Johnson halfback Benoit takes a handoff from quarterback Fritzillo and sprints 49 yards down the sideline for the score. Over at McDonough, shorthanded defensive back Owen Daly picks off a Brendan Creaney pass to secure a victory for the Eagles. And perhaps the most bizarre play of the season to date comes from the Patterson kick team. Wondering exactly who's going to kick off the ball. They finally get that in order, and they kick it sideways here to Dan McMichael. McMichael takes it, goes near sidelines. He gets by one tackler, gets by another tackler. Dan looking good, but wait a second, he forgets the ball. Jason Jordan goes the other way for the score, and our outstanding play of the week.
When we come back, we'll meet this week's Papa John's featured student athlete. Don't go away. On the field, he's known for his speed while quarterbacking the Meade football team. Off the field, senior Andrew Smith can also brag about his SAT scores and grade point average. Meet Andrew Smith, the Papa John's featured student athlete.
I write 25 count of naked on 1. I write 25 count of naked on 1. Ready?
When I'm on the football field, I think about getting the job done, no matter how much effort it takes or how much pain is there. I just want to get the job done.
Junior quarterback Andrew Smith has been getting the job done for Meade High School ever since he arrived as a sophomore transfer student from Texas. It didn't take long for Andrew to prove himself.
I spent 2 years in Texas proving myself. And then I had to come to a new place, prove myself all over again, you know. Everybody didn't know that I could play a little bit of football. So I had to come out and show them and make myself seen a little bit.
And Andrew showed what he could do in the classroom right from the start. He carries a 3.8 grade point average and scored nearly 1,100 on his SATs. But that's just the way Andrew is. He does everything one way, all out.
No one else is going to do it for me. No one else has to be tough except for me. I'm doing this for myself. I set high goals for myself. I have high expectations, and I just go after them. I don't like being an underachiever.
In the classroom and on the football field, Andrew Smith constantly proves he's an overachiever. With a 3.8 grade point average and member of the National Honor Society, the word failure just isn't in his vocabulary.
I don't accept failure. It's not a part of my lifestyle. I don't do failure.
Plays 150 miles an hour. As a team leader, I try to slow him down sometimes because, you know, he's always ahead of everybody else. So yeah, he hates to lose, he hates to fail, and that's why he does well academically and athletically.
It's not hard to stay focused. Hey, my parents preach that at home. You know, keep your mind on your studies. That's what I do. That's what I do. You have to think about a broader picture of what you're trying to accomplish in life, and you can't afford to make silly little mistakes on the side here and there because they'll cost you. So I just try to stay focused.
And the one word that helps Andrew stay focused?
Motivation. Some motivation to be somebody, to be better.
And to respect himself and others.
It comes from my parents teaching me to respect people. It won't get you far if you don't respect your elders, you know. But if you can respect people, they'll think better of you.
Well, that's it. Thanks for watching the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. We'll be back again next week with the best in local high school highlights. Don't forget, today's Sun features a special section commemorating Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak. And every day in the Sun, you'll get comprehensive coverage of local high school sports. I'm Jerry Bembry. Until next Sunday, have a great school week ahead. Our Prep Athlete Awards are courtesy of Larry Beck, the Trophy King.